Energizes way better with the. I think if you pick Ogre, you need a hero who you just pump up. Pump him up.
I don't know. Deuce is like a decaying corpse. Is she really getting pumped up? That face.
Yeah, her.
Maybe with some Botox, you know.
Her snakes can slither even faster on her head. That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Isn't she gonna?
She's trying to scare people.
Isn't she gonna lose her balance then? You know.
Those
snakes are heavy. They probably weigh more than her legs.
But she
tail.
doesn't have legs. She's like a snake.
Her like tail thing. I don't know.
She slithers around. Doesn't need balance. She's fine. GG.
Not a female hero. Not approved.
It works well with Drow Ranger. Without the Drow, I think
I do have to say that Arteezy has a 100% success rate at calling GG before the game has begun. And then going on to lose the game. So, if Arteezy doesn't believe in the draft before the game begins, it's not looking great for EG. But yeah, overall, on a more serious note, whose draft do you like better here, Ben? And
I would say it's more even.
What are you looking for as like the key strategic points moving forward?
Well, getting Diffuse on Juggernaut and winning their safe lane is very important for EG. MSS got way too much out of the off lane. The supports did not get enough. About that a couple of times, so EG need to make sure that their supports actually are able to do a lot in the early game, especially if they don't. I think like last game if they went for like Iron Talon on the Veno and then just let MSS farm, it's like whatever. But they committed like a Windlace build onto the Veno, so they need to make sure if Zai goes for a roaming build, he either gets kills or prevents kills from happening, as well as secure runes, which they also had issues with last game. Of course, they always need to get farm in their Medusa and their Juggernaut because those are pretty important heroes to get farm on. Aside from that, I guess keep Omni Knight very underleveled. They possibly can. He's played by SVG this game, so it will be an EE Terrorblade, an AUI Venge, and an MSS Timber.
And Envy's going mid, so that is the kind of cheeky laning adjustment they're going to make. But against the Dusa, not particularly adept at killing or harassing. I suppose the Mystic Stick will be a bit annoying.
It's super annoying. Terrorblade does not have that much HP. And he doesn't have that much mana, so Six Snake's gonna do a lot against him. I guess he just uses mana on cooldown, though.
He's probably gonna farm better there than bottom, though, right?
Yeah, he's I think more vulnerable to the bat.
30 seconds to battle.
Bat lane.
So it's kind of a forced out laning setup based on an unusual last pick to round things out, but will work out for NP here. They did pull Envy some tangos. Potentially one of these supports is going to sit behind him. Against an Ogre, it's not really just the Dusa you have to worry about. It's a lot of lane pressure. And it looks like EG is going aggressive, recognizing that NP's lanes are not only weird, they're a bit weak. And they want to punish that.
Yeah, the Omni Knight. Whenever you see Omni Knight, it's a good sign to pressure. He's like pretty weak in the safe lane. I think he's like okay in offlane or dual offlane, but it just makes the safe lane extremely weak. Because he, like level 1 to heal is like very underwhelming. If you get Degen Aura, all you do is slow people and they'll just like right click you down, especially if they have range heroes. So I think it's a good call by them to make. SVG looks like he's going to start heading bottom. They do have an Observer Ward scattered out. I believe it saw, I'm not sure how many heroes it saw. But now it will see crit, so that is pretty much the affirmation that it is aggro.
And this was a strong tri-lane with the Ignite slow to set up the Blade Fury, a heavy harassment support in the form of the Warlock. Now, granted, Venge is not the most farm-reliant core.
She does have the sick early, though. That will help a lot, especially with the way that they just already casted 2 spells on her. So, I like how well AUI is prepared for this.
Envy's going to have his work cut out for him here. He already committed the Metamorphosis, and he lost all his mana. Conjure Image being skilled up. But this Metamorph is about to end, and then the real fun begins.
Yeah, it's a tough lane. For sure.
And this is before you even look at the Ogre potentially coming in, and with the Jug in the off lane, one of the more survivable cores there.
Got the pull off.
Do that.
Crit. Looks like he's able to interrupt the pull.
Oh, wow. Universe solo killing MSS. Dives him at the tower.
MSS was still level 1 with the reactive. Uh-oh.
Universe already level 3 after that kill. He even I guess he bought the TP scroll after he died.
Probably one of those situations where like you get your range right and then you don't get level 2. I didn't see it though, but I can assume that it was something like that because he just hit level 2.
Really good play there by Universe. We had a strong showing in game 1 to make it close for EG. That is the kind of start they're hoping for. Double mangoes.
Their safe lane though is gonna, or rather EG's off lane is going pretty well too. RTZ, like he body blocked the pool camp. They were able to get one pool off, but now they have like a double wave pushing into them, and yeah, Bench is okay without that much farm though.
They have good setup here for the heal bomb with that magic missile, but obviously the Blade Fury dodge is always a concern, and yeah, skilled the healing war nice and early. So the regen. MSS trying to bounce back in this top lane, but Universe has the boots advantage, and he's already threatening to move in. That napalm flowing. A little bit low on mana, so he's not going to use it anymore.
Is he going for the chicken? Oh no. I thought he was going for the chicken snipe. Maybe right now. I don't know if he knows that the chicken is going to be slow.
He has no boots.
He has no boots, but the chicken is at 245 move speed. 1437 is going to get it.
5 seconds, and he gets the bash for the BM. Got him. Kills it the courier with the bottle on it. No way Sumail's happy about that.
It was right before 3 minutes too. He had a pretty
And they were
window.
just standing by with money on the Ogre, as well as the Warlock ready, so they definitely would have upgraded it immediately.
Maybe need some more ancient stacks on the Dire for Dusa. Don't know when she's going to start picking up split shot. No points in it as of yet. Opting for 1 point of stats instead. To complement the mana shield and to help her last hitting out.
MSS has gone for the 0-2-2 build, so very mobile. Not much more difficult kill for Universe now.
When he died, good build to go.
The way you said that, I was like, wait, is he dying again?
When he died,
he died!
like one death in lane is it just completely ruins the balance because no
Especially
support
in a 1v1.
Yeah, in a 1v1 like this, like if you die once, you just need to make sure it doesn't keep on happening. And it's a very safe build that it should be very difficult for Universe to keep snowballing off of and go crazy this game. And yeah, your CS is going to suffer a little bit, but you get for dying first.
Yeah, Mojo. He might be in a little trouble here. They'll just timber away after the flame break. There's not too much kill potential without a lasso. 1537 deciding where to roam. He has not really been focused much on this bottom lane, and that is allowing Easy to farm really well, as you mentioned, having a great start, blocking that camp early. He's at 24 CS. Matching him nearly as Sumail in the mid lane is roughly breaking even with Envy, but you couple the Jug winning bottom and farm and that lane generally going well with MSS also getting killed. Universe is not 6 yet, but he's threatening MSS. That last is up. MSS is actually in danger of dying to this. Chain all the way out and away, but yeah, they
still chasing.
He's still going for this? Alright. Still going. Has another flame break. Who fights this? Who does this?
He has 8 stacks with the new flame break. Oh my goodness.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
Universe. What a god.
Well, he knows he might think the new flame break's a buff.
Eventually. Get the kill on Dusa mid though. Big rotation by, say FYM, but by 1437 and SPG there. Combining with Envy, they dive the tower. They will secure the kill on the Dusa. Still though, Universe single-handedly making this game very difficult for NP. They charge Arteezy, bench stun, set up from long range. He had the Mango Blade Fury, but didn't get it off in time. And now with one more bash, they'll definitely get this kill. They don't get it though. Get out barely.
The Universe has also gone for arcane boots. I have not seen this build on Batrider.
This is the build that Moo has been favoring a lot on the Batrider. I know I was casting with CCNC and he brought it up for complexity.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I guess it's really good if you're safe lane solo. Because he has some HP regen from the Mango, an extra healing self to boot, and you can scale Lasso to not have mana issues.
Actually did aggressive dual lane mooted on the bat.
With Arcane?
They had an IO that game, so
okay.
I guess trying to take advantage of the tether a bit more maybe.
It's a lot of commitment though, but he's probably spamming Napalm a lot, and he also went for 1 point flame break early, so he does need a lot of mana in this lane.
I mean, they also went aggro tri-lane, so their supports are not going to be farming too much, so maybe that's a consideration here as well.
Yeah, it's also true.
But either way, MSS has been thoroughly forced out of the lane now as 2 kills by Universe, both solo, and now the lasso is online, so even easier to find the follow-up ones.
I wonder what build he's gonna go for after this. Like, how early do you get Aether Lens with this build, if at all? And I guess it's easy to transition into BOTs if it's that sort of game. But do you still get drums? Do you get raindrops? Do you even need the mana regen from
Guessing
raindrops?
not drums. It seems like, especially with all the nerfs, you're really just getting it for the int more than a little bit of move speed more than anything. But I feel like it loses a lot of value when you don't need the mana.
Yeah.
Raindrops, maybe. Although NP have a lot of pure and physical damage, so not sure you get those either. I'd imagine probably the early blink, but yeah, I do like the fact that you can disassemble it into BOTs. So you get a little extra late game value there.
I don't think you need early blink though versus Avenge. I think like the part of the playstyle that people use as Bat Rider against Avenge Spirit is relying on Firefly damage, and you don't really need blink to get in position with Firefly. And 1437
charge, Blade Spirit committed. He goes right into the lasso there. A vacuum in reverse. So EG looking good as they siege this tier 1 and PC. The Omni Slash commitment there helps get the kill.
Yeah, now they have Iron Talon up on the Terror Blade. So like, who's gonna kill people for them? Who's gonna create space so the enemy can farm?
Down the Thunder Gank then. Dagon comes out and the real fun begins.
Over Edge again in the Dagon?
Over Edge Dagon. Let's go. I don't think that's happening. They do have the safe lane Venge, so I imagine it'll be AoE come mid game combining with the Spirit Breaker. But if you're using your swap to initiate, that means Universe can have his way with you when he counter ganks.
Yeah, they need to turn some fights around with the Omni Knight, I think. Probably their best bet. Wait for someone to get lassoed, heal, repel, and turn that around, but with the way that Universe has been farming, you can get a blink early and just kill the Omni Knight every time.
They're starting to siege this tower a bit as the creep wave gets dragged back by Envy. Metamorph on cooldown though for a minute and a half. Chipping away bottom as well. Tier 1 there, about a third of its health gone. Sumail still standing strong in the mid lane though. Ancient stacks, we don't see any yet for either team.
Yeah, he's ready to fight. He has 4 points in Mystic Snake and hasn't picked up Stone Gaze yet, but I would be surprised if he didn't pick it up at 8.
Really synergistic with the Omni Slash as well.
Yeah, it's really good for Spirit Breaker too, because like a Spirit Breaker, you don't want to cancel your charge after you're like almost there if she pops Stone Gaze, but it just ruins all of your momentum.
The Universe almost has the blink. Looks like he is saving for that. And then for EG, they'll have the tempo control to get aggressive here. Venge does have swap as she is a core, but can't always be everywhere. Envy's out farming too far on his own, or potentially even MSS. That could be an easy lasso kill. Timely Invis rune for Universe. Well, I say timely. Doesn't quite have the blink just yet. He's not going to wait for it. He's going to move on towards mid, and MSS dangerously low. Out of mana here. It has a couple stick charges to work with. If he sticks around for another wave, he's likely going down, and there was no Radiant Vision of this. Not looking great for Mojo. First, continue to sneak around. Envy up on the high ground. Venge in position, and there's the last. So they're going to pull MSS back in. And as usual, try to focus him down. Follow-up stun is there, and Flame Break as he tries to chain away. There's the heal, though. Repel comes in. They couldn't kill him in time. Universe only wants to run, but the bash is going to prevent it. Charge in for 1437. And Universe is going to go down a scant 75 gold away from his blink.
Omni Knight. So good at turning those fights around.
They also have the Venge who can, so... BG are diving into NP. That is where they're real cautious about the potential for fights being flipped on their heads.
If he had Stone Gaze on Sumail instead of 1 point split shot, I think they would have had that though. He could have gotten in position so that, like, even if he heals and repels, they will either get slowed or turn into stone. But with the split shot, he can do this that he's doing right now, in between the two camps.
Yeah, so he retreats to the jungle, and EG are gonna look to get their support level 6 here. Zai, very close to his own. Arteezy was off in the woods. Crick gonna join this lane. Quick
Zai has a tome, so
on the tower. So yeah, they're gonna have to rock for this upcoming fight.
yeah, he just popped it.
No lasso though. Or oh, sorry, no blink lasso. Lasso in 15.
Probably see this. Anytime after 10 minutes, you have to worry about the support 6. They likely know that Warlock's trying to make use of it right now, despite them not having lasso. Lasso is up now, but Universe, you mentioned, was just measly 75 gold, and will have to burn another Firefly in another minute. It is Blink Dagger. And Radiant use scan, so I think they expect the rock to be dropped over here. The problem is, like, if you don't fight, they'll just keep going. Generally, like, they'll just keep pressuring, keep fighting until they actually do use it. So at some point, you do have to fight the rock.
Yeah, that was the old LGD International Luna strat, where they go aggro tri-lane with the Eclipse, and they're like, yeah, we don't actually want to use Eclipse, we just want the enemy to get scared of fighting us, and take 3 towers off of it. So the threat, sometimes more than the actual ability. Here in Dota 2. Dragonlance picked up on Envy though. Good news for NP is that he's actually doing real well in terms of net worth, Ben. He's at 6k, ahead of the Dusa in terms of CS as well as net worth. So it seems like that mid lane didn't affect much with the charge, but it's countered by the Lasso, which in turn is countered by a swap. Then the Rock comes in, good position there in the ultimate. The Omni ult in turn to try and beat the trump card for that Warlock ult. They haven't gotten a kill yet here on the side of EG, but they're looking for MSS. The Omni doing way too much work, and Arteezy's like, stop it, SPG. The 300 range melee attack will finish him off. One last auto to get the job done. Envy was not there for that fight. He does roam in now, but they lost 2 for 1. They got the Batrider kill after the Blink Dagger was already purchased.
The Mail was in a really good phase there, and Arteezy too, with the behind the lines Omni.
Gonna take this tower, it looks like. Tier 1 down, but it's denied by Envy. Fairly easy to pull that off with 190 damage to work. With charge coming in, 1437. Not able to Nether Strike, it is on cooldown, so they'll back off there. EG quickly deploying the healing ward. So with the way the game's developing, Dan, it does seem like EG is able to take team fights, turn those into towers. What is NP looking to do moving forward? They're very single target heavy as far as their control goes. Are they ganking? Are they split pushing? What's their game plan?
Win team fights. What Omni Knight's about. He's not a split pusher.
Oh, there's the swap. That's one way to get started, is MSS charges in, but the Blade Fury committed by Arteezy to try and get himself back to safety. MSS in real far. He's going to chain himself away, though. There's little to keep him in place.
They're not really that scared because Rock's down and Stonegaze just came off cooldown, so they know that they don't have that strong of a fight. But just an Ogre kill is not going to yield you that mid tower. And you have to contest their ancient stacks too. There is a tri-stack up for Medusa right now, and very common for her to farm ancients, and they should know that, and they should be aware. However, without that mid tier 1 tower down, they're not going to be able to actually fight that. And they don't have that long before Warlock ulti is again.
Yeah, also bear in mind Repel was very effective in that last fight, but there is a Jug here who's farming real well, so at some point gotta expect an Arteezy Diffusal Blade for Omni Knight to struggle a lot more to have an impact. The Dragonlance, so both cores tanking up here for NP. Not easy lasso kills by any means, and bench with pretty good armor, 11 base, plus 13, so Omni Slash is not a reliable way to bring her down. Getting Dragonlance now. Sumail picks one up as well.
They just need to kill the Omni Knight. But it's very hard with the fail safe from the Vengeful Spirit, however. Until you have the Diffusal. But EG are content as is. MP aren't really farming with Omni Knight. Like Timbersaw, he's still pretty far behind.
So, overall, this is the game. The Rock was on cooldown, but it is up now. Do EG need to be forcing things, or are they content just farming ancients and trying to go late with their lineup?
They have Dusa on their side. Dusa, time's always on your side.
Is there any hero against whom you don't want to go late with the Dusa?
Sometimes anti-mage, but even then it's generally not that big a deal depending on the rounding out cast, but I think she is probably the best late gamer that ask for. There's some other things like Luna with like SD's pretty strong too. In general, you're never really scared about going late. unless you use your own core. But they have Juggernaut as well.
They've got a strong supporting cast plus the Bloodlust.
Plus Bloodlust, yeah, that's going to be incredibly difficult to deal with. They might look to get Manta Diffusal at some point on the Terrorblade. Purge off the Bloodlust for one, and secondly burn mana. So like Diffusal does like almost double damage versus Medusa because you're burning so much of her mana per hit.
Easy, not afraid of the Spirit Breaker ganking him, just confidently split pushing. 1437 is going for that Midas build once again. Hey, Necro 3, maybe not a bad choice this time either versus Medusa.
Necro 3 it's not your item of choice though, just because Stone Gaze like owns your summon so hard. She'll just Stone Gaze and just kill them. So they have to look for other ways to bring her down.
Diffusal Breaker?
I think more like I don't actually know what you get. Maybe a Blast would be pretty good for them. I think he picked one up last game. No, actually he didn't. He wasn't the one that picked it up. Someone picked it up last game. But I think it'd be pretty good for them. What else would you get? Medallion.
Is that item even in the game anymore? We don't see any Medallion. We don't see Solar Crest. We don't see Medallion.
I still really like Solar Crest.
I actually want to know the build rate on that item. It's got to be like less than 5% at least.
Pretty low.
I mean, I don't really miss it because it used to be like every game you'd see Medallion because it worked so well in Roche and built into the Solar Crest, which would be utterly absurd.
The item's definitely underutilized. Now the Ancients start farming. The net worth in between Zeus and Terrorblade is going to close very quickly at this rate.
Jug build this game.
And Diffusal.
Okay. So yeah, he's at least got one of those. Either the Diffusal or the completed Manta. Up to 4k gold. He's still saving though.
He could buy the Diffusal now or buy Manta first and then Diffusal, but I'm pretty positive it's going to be Manta Diffusal. That's the one they want to fight. Like he has the Aegis now. They want to fight, but are MP actually going to fight them? And you slow down your farm a lot if you get Diffusal and you don't actually use it. You might as well just pick up another farming item and then pick up a Diffusal. Like he could even go for a Battle Fury right now if he just thinks MP is not going to fight at all. He picked up some, but he did go for Battle Fury. So like that's like you have to play based on what you think the opponents are going to do. If they're fighting right now, you get Diffusal. Fighting 5 minutes, you get Manta. They're fighting in 20 minutes, you get Battle Fury, Diffusal Manta. So it's just all how you think the game's going to play out. There's been 9 kills in 20 minutes, a little bit slow paced, but NP don't want to make the move. They have the Iron Talon on Terrorblade, they want to farm. They're not really that strong right now because Universal had a crazy good start, and they have a lot of items to like isolate this Omni Knight right now. Like NP, like they also have to be wary of Diffusal. Like if they pick it up right now, they're just not in fighting shape. Now they probably see the Battle Fury coming out soon, or already on Juggernaut, but like, do you really want to fight in the Aegis at this point? So NP are kind of racked with bad decisions as to how to approach the next few minutes of the game.
And they're running a core Venge, so it's not like their late game is looking particularly impressive on paper. They'll have solutions to the Repel eventually. MSS had a rough start, so you can't really rely on him as much, still struggling to catch up. That really puts a lot of pressure on
smoke.
Mr. E.E. Sama. EG, as you mentioned, under smoke and looking for a pickoff here. They're going to find 1437. Omni Slash and Lasso. No hesitation. A quick, clean kill for them. We'll just barbecue at the mid lane.
And now they're just expanding their territory to farm. Now that Arteezy has the Battle Fury, they can farm both set of Ancients quite easily with both of their cores. And now they'll just continue to scale up. Like Timbersoul's like okay, but he has Bloodstone. But like later game, he's just going to get destroyed by the Medusa. He just does not have the damage output to kill the Medusa. Medusa requires like a lot of physical damage, a lot of mana burn, and or kiting, but they don't really have that many ways to disable her. Like Spirit Breaker can only do so much. Because
Speaking of Dusa, there's your Eye of Scotty pickup for Sumail.
Yeah.
EG is really gearing up for late game here. They can get the bots on Universe once they disassemble these arcane boots. Like
they have better late game, so why not? Yeah. They're just playing it safe.
Hey, what is the timing for NP then? When do they look to go? They've got Hurricane Pike on Aoi, they just complete Manta on NV.
I don't think you really go into EG's lineup. Like, if you win a fight, you're still not unless you like completely wipe them, you're not gonna be able to siege high ground. You still have to deal with a Medusa who, like, on high ground with a Dragon Lance with Mystic Snake will generally shut down any push that you're gonna throw your way. So they just have to farm. That is their late game, is farming their way up into it. Make sure that they can control. That's probably the best thing they can do, because EG smoked and clearly wanted to control that area.
And we have not seen a gank in some time. 1437. You can see single Radiant action aside from just taking some towers for about 7 minutes here. The liking of EG without the max bloodlust. Universe already completing the 4 staff, a little extra gold reserve up to 400 there. Arteezy 2.1k. So yeah, it's feeling like EG is going to win in terms of the farm war, and that's where NP would like to make a move with the charge, but charge is not the most reliable initiation, Ben. Certainly not compared to a Blink Lasso. They have not been finding openings with the...
Alternatively, they can try and play it more greedy than EG, like get a HOD up on the Ventral Spirit and stack Ancients himself. That would be okay for them, but I think if they do that,
it's getting pretty late to do that.
It is, but it is still an option. I don't know how long they want to take it, but if you want to compete with further farm, you got to go for greedy items.
They're not getting a Midas on SVG or anything like that. They just have the 1 Midas on the Speedbreaker, so we're not going to see like the triple, quadruple Midas strat. Goopala. They're going to move on towards mid. EG smoked up though. First looking for a lasso on Envy. Oh, this will be a big kill, and he will get caught out here. Tries to slow down for refraction, but gets isolated and has... Oh, actually almost got the Sunder off there. Probably dies anyway. But might have bought time for his team to follow up. Not going to happen though. See the difference between trying to initiate with charge and initiating with a Blink Lasso. Not really comparable. So EG, sure they could farm this and go late, and they're going to try to back this strat up with the Midas. Fully purchased by Zai, now coming out. But all the while EG just hammering on the mid lane.
Middle tower could use
Manta for Arteezy, so still not getting the defusal, but hey, you can't repel those structures, and that's exactly what EG are busy hitting right now. Going away at it. Another way to deal with the charge, the Manta, so.
They're wasting time though. They're wasting valuable time they could be farming. And Arteezy might be in a little bit of trouble here. He is at the enemy Ancients under vision with no Aegis anymore. He's okay. He kills him too quickly.
They just don't have great catch though.
No,
like, even with the charge, if you just Manta properly, you can. And we've seen Arteezy Manta dodges really consistently.
Yeah, they just need to protect those Ancients so they can farm it themselves. It's like going to be a big loss if EG can continuously farm them over and over again.
Here comes the smoke from NP. It was not directly scouted, but they do have a lane ward, and they saw 3 heroes move up into that region. Already backing
really
off.
Want to go on Tuesday?
Well, they're going to try for it. 1437, he gets the charge into an instant bash, and then he tries to force out the Stone Gaze.
No way.
Yeah. EG saying, come on, come at us, please. And NP is going to try to cooperate here by coming in. The lasso, I didn't actually see what he caught there. 1437 caught up on the high ground. Now the ultimate coming out from the Warlock, trying to lock down AOI 2000. We'll finish him off. Envy being dealt with by the Dusa. Meanwhile, 1437 Roses and MSS now trying to run away. Timber Chain up to the high ground. Envy dropping low, has the Sunder. About to be ripped apart. He tries to get it out. Arteezy with the Manta holding onto it for a long time, and Envy will finally get that Sunder off. Still going to go down 3 heroes dead. MSS now chaining back. Will blink up. He gets another kill, turning the Juggernaut. The Chop Suey, but does he make it out? I don't know about that. Sumail going to slow him down. Taking the rest of his mana away, and now Universe. Oh, blinks in the heal! Counterplay by SVG. A nice pick off there. 2 bonus kills for NP. Looked like it would have been an easy 3 for 1, but MSS and SVG coming up big. The 3-letter men making plays here. Will end up ultimately being a 3 for 3. I thought that was going to be a lot worse for NP. What did he lasso, by the way? I couldn't even tell.
He tried to lasso Envy, and then Envy manted, and then I think he lassoed something, and then it got swapped.
Okay.
But
and that Spearbreaker somehow ended up on the high ground. That was a weird fight.
I think he got Flame Break.
Flame Break? No, or like charged up there?
I think he ulted up there? I'm not sure. It was
a little strange, but...
Regardless, this fight shows that Medusa is do whatever she wants in the fight. She is gonna be just untouched. Even if she gets sundered, I still think she...
Well, she's about to get a Lincoln, so good luck
Yeah.
even sundering her. And then with the Lincolns, can split push more freely, is more resistant to the Venge initiation as well.
They just need her to get, like if her next damage item is a damage item, I think they can just straight tank through the GA. They just counter GA with a Stone Gaze, so that you're pretty much trading cooldown for cooldown. And I think GA is a little bit stronger in that regard, so you're not losing as much as Dusa, and then Dusa just stands there and everyone has to run away on MP. They can't disable her long enough.
No, you could tell NP were fairly desperate to take a fight as they initiated on the Dusa.
Yeah.
To start it, and it was deep in dire territory. Did not work out. And to further protect her, Universe grabbing the plate mail, so likely Lotus Orb en route.
Or Shiva's.
Maybe Shiva.
I think either is fine.
Actually, versus TB, Shiva's is pretty nice. But either way, I mean, it's not just the two carries who are going to go late here. It's certainly the Bat Rider. The Warlock has a Midas. Not looking good for NP in a farm war.
This is before the Diffusal Blade comes out too on the jug. Terrorblade was allowed to stay alive for a very long time because of the repel, but without that, he's gonna have to burn from Universe.
Might even force him to go into a BKB. It's actually Envy who grabs the Diffusal Blade for now.
Yeah, it's necessary for the Medusa. Medusa is just way too tanky, and the Vengeful Spirit just cannot. Hero's just not built for one-on-one-ing with Medusa. So you need other sources of damage to shoot through her massive mana pool. And if you go to something else, like let's say Chrysalis, you're just not addressing the problem. You'll kill everyone else, but if Medusa is left alive, she will kill everyone else on the team. So it's not one of the things where it's like, okay, we'll just ignore her and then kill everyone else. She's past that point where you can just ignore her.
Well,
Especially
another free Roche, and this time there's not a trade for NP, aside from just farming the jungle. They don't have tier 1s or 2s to knock down. The Age is onto RTZ, so both cores extremely difficult to kill now, and really not your ideal targets to be focusing. And who do you focus? The extremely farm Bat Rider, the Ogre, who isn't really a big deal if he dies, or the Warlock, who so far had very good positioning.
Dire's top tower is
Seen
under
Zai
attack.
getting caught too much. 1, 0, and 6. Actually, I haven't seen him getting caught at all.
Try and kill Jug, I think. I think you can burst
But he's
Jug
got
down.
Aegis, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, well, Medusa shouldn't die. Like, even if she gets swapped in, you just drop Rock and Stone Gaze, and then he has to run away. That Rider would be the best, but he has to blink her, and it's very difficult to catch out. Yeah, one of the supports would be great. Warlock would be ideal. Easiest target to kill if he's in bad position. They don't have a hero to, like, blink in there and kill him. Timbersaw can blink in, but he can't kill the 1240 HP Warlock.
Radiant scan in a normal smoke pathway, but EG took a slightly different one. They went up and around it, so they're not scouted directly here. It's going to cause NP to continue pushing out the bottom lane for a little bit longer. 1437, he's waiting to break that smoke from the looks of it.
They saw him, however, with the ward. He was a little bit to the left earlier.
I want to dive that deep for a Space Cow. Tougher
Not
meat.
worth. If they were Omni Knight, yeah.
Necro Book it is.
Alright, well, they want to try and deal with the Medusa, but it's just tough with the Necro Book. Like, I don't know. Those things just die so quickly. If it's on a core, I think it's fine, because your Necro Book will be strong relative to the Medusa, but 30 minutes in, a Necro 1 versus the Medusa, who's working on her third item, who's going to be Maelstrom, it's just incredibly annoying.
Well, they're just going to start hammering away at structures here. Kind of feels like we're seeing the Repel Siege, but from the wrong lineup. And they are going to go for the swap. Easy, quick to react, but he gets Nether Strike and will be finished off. And now they look for a bit more. 1437, last one is punished in turn. And now the Rock drop right as Artesia respawns. So they can't focus him down or change them again. They commit the GA. It didn't actually hit MSS, who jumps in. But without that extra bit of assistance, and now the Stone Gaze, the turnaround potentially coming here with the Warlock channeling a level 3 upheaval. They're going to lock down SPG. Can they finish him off? He's not dead just yet. Artesia spinning towards him, getting muscled down by the Vengeful Spirit. Auto attack, almost dead. MSS will finish him off there. Great Timber Chain. And now with the Stone Gaze down, the real fun could begin for NP, though. They're out of mana, and MSS in a bit too far. Surrounded by 4, but they don't have the best single target burst. They're not able to finish him off without Artesia. He's survived through this. EG have to end their siege. Don't get a Rax. They only brought down a tier 3. That was a really well executed fight by NP.
Bug didn't get his ultimate off, and also they didn't have high ground vision. They needed to pop down a ward, I think. Like maybe if they popped down like right before the rock or right after the stone gaze, it would have been perfect for them. But their supports weren't in a position to do so, and they also don't have any wards on them. So, like he didn't have the vision to Omni slash to Omni Knight. And then if he can do that, then he can away. But he like took a lot of damage to spin him because they have a lot of right click. Vengeful Spirit with the way of the Terror and the Terror Blade like feeding on the Juggernaut is going to die to right click because he went for Mantle Diffusal, not a more tanky build.
Yeah, no Scotty, no Butterfly, at least not yet.
Yeah, not even SNY. SNY is like pretty decent for HP, but there. And he sold his Aquila so he could pick up Diffusal. So not even the extra armor from that.
Looking a bit more stable for NP, but it's still worth mentioning. Like they lost the Rex, or sorry, the tier 3 there. And they weren't really able to get anything in turn after that fight. So while it was a good fight, doesn't necessarily mean they're coming back. They're hanging on for now. Lasso, though, is not isolated. 1437 up top. They're going to multicast him, try to focus him down, but he might be able to charge out of here. Flame Break already been used, and he will almost get away. Not quite. Close call.
Not quite.
Last Deuce auto attack chasing him down. Still, after that fight, MSS, and along with the kill top and surviving, and he has come back really well, Ben. He had a terrible laning stage, gave up 2 solo kills to Batrider. Now he's 5-2-2. He's up there in net worth. He completed a Lotus Orb, 17 stun charges, Blink BOT.
That's the second time he's been able to just blink and kill Jug. Those 2 kills like helped him out so much.
They don't really have the best control for Timber once the lasso has been committed. It'll be a game where MSS looks to take over late, but he does have to wait out the Stone Gaze, potentially Blade Fury and Omni Slash.
Yeah, the thing is he's going to build up.
Patient.
He will build up a lot of reactions, so that's the thing. So he is very, very difficult to kill. There's no real good way for them to burst him down at all. Maybe Omni Slash. Juggernauts doesn't really do that much damage. He went for a Blink Dagger though, so he doesn't just die trying to spin in again.
Yeah, can split push more aggressively, can play a little more safely in the fights. Is almost finding Envy.
They know Envy too well.
Always wants that last like extra little bit, you know, gotta ring the rags ring at every ounce of farm count out of the map, but does the math correctly, makes it out. Just too fast for crit there.
They're trying to go for the GG push right now. GG pickoff.
Are those cracks in Dyer's
Medusa has her Mjolnir completed and hits very hard. Arteezy can easily catch the Omni Knight out with a blink into an Omni Slash and the Diffusal if the GA comes out, and it looks like they may be able to catch one of these 2 on the top side of the map. AUI has a Linken's. It's not very great versus Omni Slash, which looks like it's about to happen on top of it.
Oh, the blink, lasso, and the GA. He already committed it though on the Lincoln Sphere. Just try and catch AUI out. There's no follow-up just yet. Moving with the Omni Slash onto 1437. So place him up. We'll take the Necro Book as well, so...
Yeah, they didn't know the Linkos was up, so it helped prevent the lasso there, which would have been a pretty big pick.
Still losing 1, and the Necro Book, so some extra gold. Sumail up to 2k now. The NP do continue to farm. We'll see 6 gold on Envy. What is the Terror Blade item this game? Normally we see like Butterfly, sometimes Scotty, I suppose.
I think Butterfly's the build. I think he needs as much damage as possible as the Terror Blade, especially when you have an Omni Knight on your side. I think you have to YOLO it a little bit.
Well, you've got an Omni Knight, Ben. Why not get a Rapier?
Because Rapier is sadly terrible on illusion heroes.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I don't know how much his illusions are going to be doing in these fights. I guess we'll see, but for the most part, it feels like the Dusa has just completely shut down anything except the main hero.
Yeah. Well, that's why you get Butterfly. She doesn't have MKB yet.
True. Does opt for the Crystallis, so Sumail not going to have the slot for it unless he wants to get rid of the Dragonlance.
Scotty's the more standard build.
Or the boots. I mean, I say get rid of the Dragonlance. We've seen a lot of bootless heroes as of late.
Deuce is a pretty great bootless hero. You're generally not moving around that much in fights.
Yeah, They've got the force staff to shove, double force staff to just shove her into the fray.
They also have upheaval to keep enemies in place.
Definitely worked out. EG getting prepped for a potential Roshan. The universe scours the enemy jungle looking for any sort of lasso pick-off potential. Doing a bit of farming here, but not going to find anything. Doing a good job of controlling the map though, and deal with these illusions fairly easily.
Timber, that's an X. Most farmed hero on the Radiant side.
Is that what you want though, compared to
He needs damage.
the Terrorblade?
I think it's fine. He can still do damage through the Stone Gaze, and he's the only hero on the team that can do so. I think it's okay if he's this invested. And he can also just chew through the Juggernaut, and it's very important for MP winning fights.
Now EG fully occupying the enemy jungle and just waiting for Roach to respawn. It looks like Sumail. No new items beyond that Chrysalis just yet. And we do see Arteezy grabbing the ultimate orb. So, let's see, is this a Lincoln's? Is this a Scotty?
I don't know which one I prefer for him.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is like a Silver Edge for the reactive armor, but
Nah,
that feels kind of niche.
way too late for that. I think Scotty dying. I guess Lincoln's is also there to prevent deaths, but he has a Hurricane Pike to pop the Lincoln Spear.
I think it is Butterfly. Oh wait, no, sorry, he got a Scotty. And okay, gold now.
Yeah. The Lincoln's didn't save him last fight. So. Looks like Zai is going for Lincoln, Lotus Orb. Very important.
Benefit of having that early support Midas, and compared to that 1437 with the Necro Book, hasn't had too much of an impact with this item. 1 and 6, a far cry from his performance last game.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred like more supporty items, like the Solar / Vlad's to aid in the armor department, because those help with the Medusa. So the Necro helps offensively versus Medusa, but not defensively, which is what I think they need a lot more. Just because, like, if your cores don't have uptime on the Medusa, she's still gonna live. It doesn't matter if the Necro puts on her or not. It's like those would add maybe like if everyone's attacking the Medusa and she just singled, those would maybe add like 10-15% damage, as opposed to like the cores, which make up the large bulk of draining her mana shield.
EG gonna storm down mid now with their freshly snagged Aegis.
Oh God,
and
Medusa
MP
with that.
are going to be on the high ground with the unenviable task of trying to hold the base, but this time they don't have a tier 3. Already Sumail trying to work on the range tracks here, and it's dropping quickly. Lotus Orb committed relatively early in the fight by MSS.
It's the safe way to siege.
Yeah, they're just going to all sit way back. No easy initiation. Only Lady Dusa, and normally this would be slow, but she's so farmed that rather quick goes for the vent stun to break that Lincoln Spear, but now the Lotus Orb quickly deployed to protect Sumail. You wait for these cooldowns to reset. They've already brought this melee down by half, but no, they're not going to wait. They continue to see fresh Bloodlust available. He lobbed out now, and MSS blinking in, trying to deal with the Dusa, slicing into her just a little bit with the Whirling Death, but it's simply not enough damage to force her away. Owie, this time the swap comes out. The Lotus was a split second late. And it looks like Sumail on the run now. They quickly pop the Aegis. They're looking for more. MSS has done huge work in this fight already. 1437 in from behind, but now the Rock comes in. That turns the tides. The Stone Gaze now committed. At long last, right as the Omni ult is blown. Almost out of mana. Sumail trying to hold the line. An excellent defense so far by NP, but they did lose the racks. They've got to find some kills here. Hurricane Pike forward into a vent stun. Will isolate Zai. The quick turn by Sumail. MSS trying to lunge into the back line, but he is out of mana nearly. Sumail, can they kill him before he TPs away? Doesn't look like it. He'll make it out. Zai not so fast. He goes down, a 1-for-1, but also racks claimed here by EG. So overall, not an easy siege, but it was a successful one. Now we will hunt the spread here, looking for the Warlock. Look at that. We're now going to see an Orchid coming out for Sumail, so there's your counter to any evasion, or mischance. Yeah. The Chrysalis also picked up.
It's still not that great versus Repel, however. I don't know who he's going to Orchid. I guess he can Orchid the Omni Knight. Because Terrorblade has Manta and two ways out of it. Timbersaw has Lotus, Vengeful Spirited. I don't really think want to cast it on her. I guess you can pop the Links with it if you so desire, but Omni Knight is the main target. But he might have Greaves soon. It's a good damage item, and it's expensive, which is good for Medusa because you're slot limited at this point, so you want as expensive as items as possible.
Yeah, after this it's going to be basically down to a Moon Shard, no boots, and maybe replacing the Dragon Lance or upgrading it to a Hurricane Pike, so still some options, but running out of item slots. At the same time though, EG, they got one lane of racks without Aegis, so feels like at this pace they can wait for the next one. They'll have another item on Duke, so Jug will be close to 7 slotted as well, and then they go for the second lane.
I think she really needs Butterfly though. Butterfly is like so good versus Vengeful Spirit and Terrorblade because they're all physical damage. So you have a lot of evasion and you have a ton of armor from them, and you do a lot more. My personal preference for items, but I'm not sure what he's going to get after this Blood Door. Could be BOT's 2s. I don't know. I don't really think they have trouble right now.
Man, that is a stacked Dusa. Jesus. And that's not even factoring in the Bloodlust. Big buff to her. Not to mention the synergy that Dusa has with Fatal Bonds, doing so much AoE damage with the split shot.
Yep. And Upheaval, I think synergizes really well with her too. You have Stone Gates to keep him in place for however long they decide to turn around for, and then you have Upheaval afterwards so that she doesn't get kited. But I don't know, I guess she doesn't really get kited right now because she's attacking the Rat. They're forcing them to come to her.
Butterfly grabbed by the Jug, so Arteezy nearly finished farming at this point.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to end the game with the next Aegis if they want to wait that long. And I think they at least can take it. Rex quite easily. Just approach it the same way like they did last time. Blow Siege into the Lotus Orb, the Lincoln Sphere on the Medusa, and probably have an Aegis as a failsafe just in case he gets swapped in like last time with a Pike to the Lincolns.
Dude, smoke up now, trying to make a bold move forward, but AG already backing out. You have a decent ward here to see that NP jungle is currently unoccupied, so they might be getting suspicious. Move up, Envy out in front. Not have his Butterfly yet, and there you go. He's gonna buy it. Split seconds before they run into the Warlock maybe down to start the fight. That could be huge. Doesn't buy that available. Might have to use it. As they commit forward. Now popping the Stone Gaze and all hell breaks loose. Omni Knight ult there to try and counter things. MSS though into the fight, and Warlock has fallen back to re-engage. Drops the rock, tries to get to work, but AOI falls back away for now. Envy being focused, but he manages to get off the Thunder. He survives the Kitty lift around 2. A beautiful turret, but it's not enough to Steven. Still will lose the Terrorblade in the end, and no buyback available as he just lost that Butterfly. They've brought down 3. SS in danger now, trying to chain away desperately, looking to survive. AUI will TP out. But if they can't win there with a pressure picked up item, well, MSS, he's not done just yet. He's trying to go in. Arteezy will force him into a suicide. Seppuku, the only response to that level of physical damage. And you wanted to do some Butterfly, Ben, you're going to get it soon.
Yep.
To 1100 gold with 2 components.
She's too strong. She just sat there almost the entire time defiant, just right-clicking people.
EG, it's looking pretty bleak for their opponents here, and if they win this game, guaranteed a 4-game series, could even make sense. Maybe we get that elusive Game 5. Even in defeat, potentially for this game, NP still looking like a staunch opponent for EG.
Yeah,
I know like a month or 2 ago, you know, a lot of people were kind of laughing at NP, saying, oh, they're overrated, they're washed up, but we're certainly seeing that's not the case.
They have a lot more... They have had a lot of drive. Especially with like the Boston Major regional qualifiers, like they clearly really wanted to qualify.
And they're to me one of those stories of a team that like there is burnout certainly exists and is a thing that some teams have to worry about, but for the most part, the teams that play the most tend to show the most improvement. Like OG is a perfect example of that. Like pre-Frankfurt Major, they played the most events of any team. They went on to win that event. Single elimination, they would have been knocked out very early, and that is the format for this major, but just in general, seeing the teams who put in the most time in online tournaments and pre-major events tend to have great results to show for it. NP has really benefited from all that experience. Brady Curry did get sniped
by creeps.
Wasn't carrying anything, but Not the biggest deal at this point, to be honest.
EG just need to win one more good fight before NP throw in the towel over here, and NP looking to prematurely fight them.
They get the swap of Sumail, and the Stogate comes out. Oh, he caught a couple. This could get ugly. LTZ holding on to the Omni Flash for now. Doesn't need to use it. He's gonna let it go right as the counter from the Omni Knight ult is attempted, but quickly will deal with those here. Now turning his attention back to NP, gets stunned and controlled. Can he get off a good Thunder? He's looking for the opening, but no! Crit is ready with the Lotus Orb. Where's your Thunder now, NP? He's dead too. Three have fallen. Oh, great play by the Ogre. Mr. McGee to put a cherry on top here. 4 have fallen. The last man standing. Can he get the job done? His MSS doesn't look like it. Make it 5. Anime has died here today. Particular set. They'll buy back on one of 2 heroes that has it.
That Stone Gaze, though, I think he casted it before the swap right as soon as... That is a game-winning...
Because they have the swap
Gaze.
Hex potentially. Now that said, the double Lotus Orb anyway, so...
It's the precast it, though. The
Yeah.
Lotus Orb. Like, they generally, like...
Well, can't you purge the Hex, though?
Can, but she's stunned. They, like,
Right.
they pike, swap, top lane can swap, and then stun. And then after that, they use whatever they have, like...
I guess it comes down to killer before the stun then.
Yeah,
at that point.
before she's stun locked. Well, they'll like follow up with a charge and then like follow up with a greater badge.
I still don't know even then if it's enough, because at least Warlock can drop the ulti, presumably before she dies, but yeah, getting the Stone Gaze off just makes
Yeah,
way easier.
We saw the one time in base where she got swapped to the T. She died very quickly. If everyone is on top of her,
And even if all that goes right, she still has buyback BOT, so MP really have their work cut out for them to win that team fight.
they can
there.
reset though. Like you'd probably lose Omni, I would say. Lose Omni and or Spirit Breaker, but if you force out a buyback and then just back off, they likely have committed Rock for that too. Then you'd be in a pretty good spot. But yeah, without killing Medusa, it's going to be really hard for them to kill her at this point. Like another thing is that the Necrobook struggles versus the Butterfly. Like you want your cores to have KB and whatnot. Deal with her Butterfly, but she is just not really taking that much damage, especially with it's not breaking the evasion anymore.
And Envy's really out of slots here. AUI is just not farming enough. Didn't go for the Dominator, 35 minutes ago when you brought up the idea of it. And Timbersaw can only do so much. He's not really the best single target burst at this stage against tanky carries. He's more of an AoE damage dealer at this stage.
Hide in the trees, guys.
Alright, they can Hurricane Pike into a swap, into a Hex. But the Aegis is on side, so you can't go for him, and Universe is in good position here. He will back away. I think there was that's a Radiant scan, but an NP, smoke's gonna wear off. They've got to go home, because our team...
They have an Observer Ward right on top of them. They scouted all of them going mid though.
Arteezy just hammering away on the melee. There's the swap, the Hex follow-up comes through, but now they're going to look to turn this around. Quick Lotus deployed, gets off the Stone Gaze, and they still have a Rock 10 seconds until it gets dropped. Not even necessary. Arteezy dealing with them, so even if they kill Sumail, they've got a bigger problem. It looks like that's the Juggernaut. They'll try to focus him down. Envy desperately charging in, but now might be on his way back home with the multicast comboed with the Rock. Can he get up the Thunder? He tries for it. The Lotus Orbs are there. He can't use the Thunder because of the Lotus Orbs, countering the late game Parablade. The Omni Knight no longer a factor, and that's it. GG. Going to a game 3 of this best of 5, tied up 1-1. We will get at least 4.
The mid picks on the losing side have just been strange. Like I think Terrorblade was very good in the high ground. The high ground.